I don't work with survivors. I work with people who happen to been through the Holocaust. And how important or central the Holocaust may be to their life is subject of conversation. And at the end, I don't know, maybe they don't know, and different members of the families would have a different view of it. The most important thing about it that I should say is this. To the Nazis, to the Germans, the Jews were just a number. They were all the same. They were the people that they needed to exterminate. So to me, one of the key answers to the Holocaust is to recognize the differences. And to value differences is, to me, at a value level, one of the most important lessons of the Holocaust, is to value human differences. And there are not two survivors who have the same story and have the same experience. One survivor wants to and needs to talk and never stops talking about the Holocaust. The other one never wants to talk about it, and so it goes. Therefore, whether it's not a survivor, but whether it's somebody else with a different background, the fact that I've worked with survivors facilitate my capacity to work with other people, but also the other way around. And to give just one example, because I think it's a very good one. A couple who have been through a very, very traumatic crime in Australia come to see me. And what happened is this. Immediately after the crime, mental health professionals descend on them. And they talk to the wife, they talk to the husband. And what happens is, when they come to see me, the wife reports basically an appreciation of the fact that professional people made themselves available to her and talk with her. The husband hates every minute of it. To him, it's a violation of his privacy. He feels offended and traumatized by the experience of the expectation of mental health professionals that he would talk with them. How do I deal with it? I say to him, more or less, you feel hurt and offended by their expectation and demands. And then he opens up and he starts talking to me about how upset he was by this and by his own failure to protect his family. And therefore, when he's not able to protect the privacy of his family, he experienced even worse, as it were. Now, how is it related to the issue of the Holocaust? It's related to the issue of the Holocaust because what working with survivors has taught me is that they are different. And everyone is different. And lots of the mental health professionals who tried to deal with this couple did not recognize the degree to which two people who are close to each other, but they deal with their difficulties, with their trauma differently. And that applies, and therefore, if there is a lesson of working with survivors for me, is that each person is different. And families, it's a very common thing in a family, that what would happen is, you grow in a family, your parents are Holocaust survivors, and there is one child in the family who forever want to know more about the Holocaust and dedicate their life to the study of what happened to the family. And his siblings thinks he's a stupid idiot, you know, why can't you leave it alone? And they are not interested. One Israeli documentary maker made a movie about it, because when he discovers what his father left behind, which is a huge amount of documentation. He wrote a daily diary about his Holocaust, his experiences, including what he remembers of the Holocaust, but he never talked to his children. The son discovers it and dedicates his life to them. He goes back to Europe and traces his father's footsteps during the Holocaust. Then he makes a movie where he takes his siblings with him and says, come with me, I want to show you. And the whole movie, it's a wonderful movie in a way. They are sniggering, they are cynical, they are dismissing his attempts to share with them what he discovers about his father. So even in the family, amongst siblings, there's a very different reaction. So what the Holocaust, and that's the problem about any category. You know, that's one of the things I'm also worried about when I talk about Holocaust survivors and their families. You know, they are not, they are individuals, as it were. And even, who was it, I think Primo Levi, who wrote that even if you have been in Auschwitz, you don't know what Auschwitz is like. And lots of survivors who have been in Auschwitz said that Primo Levi didn't know what Auschwitz was like because he didn't have his children there, and he worked as a chemist, and his life was easy compared to others.